Recording in progress.
Hi, Keith. Well, they got another trailer back there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Who has it back there? The scouts?
I guess the scouts, and they've got them turned to where all the guys have to do is just back in and pull them out.
Or is it with the landscaper?
No idea. All I know is they're parked side by side, backed in like they would back in anyway.
Do they look alike?
No, one's different color.
I haven't heard anything about another trailer.
No. All I know is I was down by the school and they're, I would say about 99% done with the dig. They're now covering the dig up with the earth, the fresh earth that they tore out. And then probably as soon as I get done leveling it all out, start laying the sod.
What is that dig for?
Because it's collects a lot of water down in the area near the where that tornado alarm is at. And right there by that entrance to the sidewalk and the parking lot. Always collects a lot of water after the rain. And so the city saw that, I guess, and got reports that, you know, it's always flooded at that area. So they decided to do this mini dig. It's only about gonna be about 5 feet deep.
But it goes all the way down across the lot there.
The whole lot. So
Yeah.
what was ever, all that grass there is
So
gonna
it's
be
not,
all,
it didn't look like it was for holding tanks. It's probably
No.
for a leaching field.
well, whatever they want to call it, it's gonna slope down 5 feet down. And then they'll take and drain the rest of it into the big unit. They'll
Yeah.
they put pipes in already or whatever to drain.
They'll probably install.
So as soon
drain-
as they
drain
finish
pipe
that,
and gravel.
they're gonna, yeah, with no gravel, just all grass.
No, I mean gravel down in the ditch.
Oh, I'm sure they did that somewhere, yeah. as soon as they finish that, they'll be probably starting to work on the parking lot.
Yeah. Hi, Jim. John,
Keith, how are you?
good.
Hello.
John, Harold, how are you?
Yep. Oh, one question before we get the meeting started. What is the amount that Susan should write on a check for the visiting speaker? The Reverend,
150, I think we did, right,
It's
John?
150. Yeah. 150.
150?
150.
Okay. Now I've done my part for Susan. And I just put her, do I just put Reverend Sue Detentman?
Dieterman, yeah. You have the spelling, right?
Huh?
You have the spelling of her last name?
Do you want me to just put her name or do you want me to put the Reverend?
You can, it doesn't matter, whatever you want.
Okay. Well, I didn't know how she does that for cashing the check
She's-
or whatever.
Yeah, the bank will cash it either way.
Okay. All right, I'll set that aside.
I think Deb Mungovan will join us, but probably more around 7:20, 7:30 to talk about the sign proposals.
Yeah, I looked at what she's proposal. I just was kind of curious of what the sign would look like if she could get some sort of photographs.
Yeah, we can, well, we can ask her, maybe she has something or she can describe it or something.
Yeah.
And also, we don't pay the tax. We don't pay the sales tax.
Oh, yeah,
And something that large, it makes a big difference.
yeah, what, did they call out the? Did they call out the tax? Oh, they did call out the tax separately, yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Can't see. Oh, okay, yeah. And my Adobe Reader settings, not, I can't see the whole thing.
I thought I printed out the third. There were 3 of those, weren't there,
Yeah, there were,
proposals?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's 3
I printed out 2 of them.
There was, let's see, this one. There was
Bring it up.
OP, an option 1, option 2, option 3. Looks like.
Right. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, it would have been nice if they had an image to go with these things or a sketch. Because I don't know what the difference is between maybe somebody else does, a deep aluminum marquee, a deep grooved white vinyl board, or a deep aluminum flange panel. I don't know what any of those things are.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, are we about ready, do you think?
Sure. Is that? Oh, it's Marilyn.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Marilyn, did you eventually get the email that?
I did.
Okay. Did you
I
get it
just had
twice or
been
just
on Earth.
once?
No, I got yours, but Carol had called me later in the day and I said I hadn't gotten it, but I was on early morning and I think yours came in at 10:20 or something like that, but I was on earlier, so that's why I
Oh, I
had said
see.
so.
Okay.
John sent it over, but anyway, I
Actually,
had both of
Pastor
them.
Jim sent it over.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you got it.
Yes,
And
no, I
also to
did.
double
Thank
check
you.
to make sure it's still correct, I'm sure.
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's
Okay.
7:04.
Yeah, so why don't we call the meeting to order? And Pastor Jim, would you please open with a prayer?
Yep. If you please join me in prayer. Loving God, we come to you as a thankful people that you have gathered us to yourself and called us your people in your church and called us into mission here in the south side of Elmhurst. As we come together to talk about those treasures that you have entrusted with us, the building of the church, the money of the church, and the ministries of the church, we pray that you would grant that we would know your wisdom and know your plan, and that you would guide us in the ways that we would use these things well, that we would use them to make your kingdom known better and your love and your presence known better, and that we would be called to be faithful servants and present for you and your kingdom. So bless our time here, bless our business discussions, and bless our fellowship. We pray all this in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 Okay, are there any additions to the agenda? I know that we have the sign material and you said she'd be coming in later.
7:20, 7:30 is what she thought she was
Okay.
going to be able to make. So
Maybe we could put that after the finance committee reports.
that's fine. And then the other thing I think we also want to talk about is giving her some guidance in terms of,
Right.
a monthly, if there's a monthly outlay for landscaping below this number, like feel free on your own volition, like you don't have to ask us about,
Yeah, some threshold.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna put the signs basically where the investment committee is.
Mhm. Okay.
And the other thing is I have a accounting question. When we fill out the charge conference material
Uh-huh.
for the finance committee, I have to explain why or why not we don't have two people checking the amount of money coming in for protection of Harold.
Right.
And the way that we handled that before was with Becky there, anything coming through the office, she sent a note to me saying this amount, offering this amount, Calvary, this amount, Northern Illinois, whatever. So we essentially had two people checking the material.
Right.
And the question is, with a secretary with an administrative assistant not there, how can we do that?
Right. So SPRC decided that they did want to backfill that position.
Okay,
So this is a temporary problem, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
So I think that we're probably okay on a temporary basis going the way we are right now. You know, if it goes too many more months where we haven't hired an admin, then we can revisit it. But I think that
Yeah.
there's an
Okay.
understanding that if we don't have the people temporarily, that, you know.
Well, I have a question then. John, are you receiving or not receiving my emails?
oh, yes, I did. I'm sorry, I forgot to respond to you on that. Yes, I did receive it. I did receive, I
Okay.
think I've received either 2 or
Well,
3.
I'm just doing what Becky would normally do,
Right,
Right,
letting you
right.
know ahead of time what I get.
Right. The problem, Harold, is that what we're supposed to do is basically have a third person in there. So
I
that,
understand.
right, so that's the
I
only thing we're
understand.
talking about. So once
Yeah.
we backfill the admin position, then we'll have that third person again.
Yeah.
I mean, the alternative to that is, well, the problem is that Harold also gets the mail.
right,
So I mean, right,
Right.
so I mean, to
Right.
add the third person, we'd actually need somebody to go into the building and get the mail before Harold gets it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
and
I
Well,
don't
that's the
know,
only problem is that we don't know when the mail comes anymore. It used to
Right.
come in the
Right.
morning and it can come now anytime during the day as late as 7 o'clock at night. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I go down
Or it
there
can
every
come
day,
on-
even sometimes twice a day, just to check to see if there's mail on the floor.
Or it
Sorry,
can come
Marilyn?
on Sunday. I can come on Sunday, which I'm in the same, lane as the church, and I got mail Sunday. Didn't get it Friday and Saturday, but did get it Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
it's-
yeah,
I've had
Strange.
multiple
Very-
Sundays getting mail.
sorry?
pardon, Keith?
I've had multiple Sundays getting mail lately. No
Mhm.
mail on
Really?
Monday and mail on Sunday.
Oh, really? Wow, okay.
Well, some of the reason they're doing mail on Sunday is because they didn't get around to doing it during the week. So they send somebody out to do it.
Okay,
Well,
Are-
I got it, Monday
Yeah.
through Thursday, but didn't get it Friday, Saturday, got it Sunday. So it's
Okay.
very sporadic.
Yeah,
My
uh,
mail
I mean,
just
I get-
5 minutes ago was delivered.
yeah, are there any other additions to the minutes or minutes to the agenda? Anything that we need?
no, I don't think so. We already took care of the soil testing for the garden, so that's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Okay. Then if you could take a couple minutes to look over the minutes. Okay, are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? All in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye. Aye.
Okay.
Okay. Harold, trustees.
Okay, The air conditioning system for the office is not working. I called out the air conditioning people the other day. They came out and they found a problem with it. They suspected a particular part. I talked to the boss today and said that they're having troubles with Lennox and getting the part somewhere, something about it's not in the United States. So they're working on it, and they may have to just go around the part if they can't get it, just to get it working. And then they also will recharge the West Room air conditioning system, since that's usually the failure and why we didn't have any cold air the other day when the ladies had their meeting on Wednesday. Other than that, I found new bags for the North Room and the West Room sized garbage containers, because they were using 39 gallon bags for a 22 gallon container. So I found some new ones to replace them, and they fit just fine. I told Dan about them. I have not given them to him, but I told Dan that I would find them, or did find them. And last time I saw Dan, which was last Saturday,
Kevin,
and other than that, I've got to figure out on getting the other garbage bags, but there's only the one big one in the kitchen that's left to be used for big stuff. So he seems to have at least 1 or 2 bags. I mean, enough bags to last for a while. We don't throw that much garbage out and everything else. I noticed though, when he was washing floors, especially in the sanctuary, there were spots of pools of water. So I'm going to have to go back and talk to him and tell him he can't put that much water down on the floor. Other than that, with the new motion censored type paper towels, other than I fixed the one for the minister, that the minister wasn't working. It was just jammed, but I got it working. The ladies seem to be pleasantly pleased that they're there and working. Other than that, there's nothing else to report that I know of. I do have the snow brush in for service because it's been sitting so long without being used. So I personally took care of that, and they won't get to it right away because they've got a stack of other companies that also want their service too. So they'll have it ready before Christmas.
I was gonna say, you don't need it till it snows.
Before snow.
Yeah.
Yep.
thank you for all that work. Greatly appreciated.
Well,
Yep.
I'm glad I can do it. Let me just put it that way. And my next big project is to try to fix the shed because it's starting to rot at the bottom. But that's a nice project for me to do. Little here, little there.
Okay.
Okay. So why don't we go into the financial report? And Harold's. I'm trying to pull it up on
Well,
the screen. It's not.
Harold's
it's so
report-
small. I'm gonna pull out my book.
Harold's report.
You're trying to pull up Harold's report?
Harold's report.
Oh, do you want to
Yeah.
show it on this? You want to show it on the screen?
For the month of June.
Yeah, it's
For the month of June, you mean?
Yeah, I was trying to pull it up for me because it was
Oh,
sent
for
to
you.
everybody.
Oh,
For me, yes.
okay.
So anyway, if you look there, Calvary is very good in terms of getting stuff in. Latter Rain continues at 400. Northern Illinois Conference 833.33. This is the last month of that amount. It will be cut in half
Right.
starting July. And I'm correct on that.
I believe so.
So,
You know, I'm just as surprised as anybody, so I guess we'll find out when we get a check.
so anyway, that is the report. We also have the standard reports in terms of
I
Activity
have
or-
one quick question.
yeah.
Last Sunday, I received a change in a baggie. And I when I went to deposit it, it was $11.60. And I have no clue as to where you think we should put that money.
I would put it under offering.
You want to put it under offering? Okay.
Yeah, well, what,
Oh, you know who it was from, don't you?
Well, I didn't know if we had anything going wise permission for, other churches or, like they do
or
the
was,
one time where we,
That was from Sandy and Peter. Might,
did they have a special purpose or?
no, they instead of what we used to do, they just had this change, and she told me that, so that's the only reason I know about it.
Okay, so that should go under mission then. Is that correct? Is that your understanding, Marilyn?
I don't, yeah, that's what we used to do, but I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think she had any real, I
What-
don't know,
Right.
I just
Noisy
know
buckets,
that it was from.
Yeah, noisy buckets we had sort of said we were gonna do to go to the food pantry, right?
Right, yeah.
I
mean,
think
so-
so.
all right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any problem saying that the $11 can go toward the food pantry.
Oh,
So put it in the food pantry pile?
Correct. Yes, that sounds like the most reasonable thing.
Okay. Fine and dandy, done and done.
Okay, let's see, what else do we have here? Treasurer's reports, 2022 activity by month. Give you a little bit of time to look over that. And again, we're into the summer, which means that, we tend to have less revenue coming in.
Right. Hello. Although
Speaking to me?
total revenue isn't way out of line.
No,
I mean, it's down $500 from the month before.
right.
It's down 700 something. It's better than March.
Yeah, I don't know what happened in March.
No, everybody went on spring break.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, and one other thing about June, July, August, and I think in September is that the gas should be less, utilities,
Right.
and that has been at a, let me find it here.
Whether the gas was higher last month than the month before. Do we know why the gas is? Do we have the boilers on still?
the boilers are on because they supply hot water to
Oh,
the church.
okay. Really? We pay $980 for hot water to the church per month? It's just,
It's a lot.
yeah. Huh.
Yeah, it's my understanding, Harold, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the way that it is set up. During the 1950s or so, when it was made, is they were looking at these things that would be universal, doing not only the heat, but heating the hot water and everything.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You also have to remember that the stove has a pilot light for both ovens on all the time.
Yeah, and with the gas price the way that it is,
Yeah,
it's not helping.
right, right.
Okay, and for your information, I included the June transactions, the individual ones with the splits, and also the June 2022 versus 2021 activity by month. There was a activity year-to-date. Actually, the year-to-date comparison was not by month, it was the January through June of both years. So you can see where we're headed.
So revenue wise, it looks like we're pretty close to the same, $800 more this year than last year.
Right.
For year to date, and expenditures is 6,000, 5,000 something more.
Yep.
6,500.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Is that Deb?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
We are just going through the finance reports right now, Deb. We have you slotted on the agenda right after this.
The we also did budget versus actuals, and that is for 2022 budget. And we're, decently in there, not outstanding, but doing okay. You can see what things we were paying more for.
Right.
And again, realize that the pastor's salary, has been adjusted with the housing allowance, and he's also paying family medical out of there. So if you see that things are greatly different, that's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
Okay, are there any questions on?
Financial report are we looking at?
The budget versus actuals 2022 budget fiscal year,
Okay.
sorry, 22 profit and loss.
Okay.
But it gives us an idea in terms of, how we're doing versus the budget. And speaking of budget, I did revise the budget to show that wherever that is. Sorry, I have to pull it up. But the conference had been giving us 5,000 per half year, and now they for July through December of this year, it's $2,500. So I changed the budget to reflect that, and I did not make any changes in terms of the administrative assistant Becky's position
Okay. Okay,
because I did not know,
right.
sort of no idea in terms of how it's going to be handled.
Yeah, okay. Like I said, SPRC does want to backfill that position, but we're just starting that search now, so.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Do we need to approve that new budget or just go with it?
I mean, I don't know. There's no, well, actually, it's not, yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know what you're gonna do if you don't approve it. It's not like we have a choice.
Right.
Well,
it just more accurately reflects what's going on.
right. So it's not, to me, it's not really a budget change as much as it's an adjustment, you know? So, yeah, I don't think you have to approve it.
Okay, sounds good to me. Why don't we do the signs since Deb is here?
Okay.
And I think we had 3 options. And before we were talking about, before the meeting, we talked a little bit about, we don't know the difference between a deep aluminum flange panel and a deep aluminum marquee with 3-inch letter panel. In other words, we don't have a good feel for what these are. So,
That's what, so I put it in, I put the description below, and I put an email to Pastor Jim and a couple other people, and it explained what those 3 options were. I for one don't have them in front of me, but the one option that is the 2,000 something was to replace the marquee, the cabinet, and recaulk the seal, and it would have new insides, new lettering, and a new, glass panel or whatever that locks. The second option, just replace it, leaves the existing aluminum cabinet that's in the brick, which isn't the best sealed anymore, but they would just take the inside out, put a new marquee board, replace it with 3-inch lettering because we have 2-inch, and some people were saying it was too small. So it would be basically taking the marquee guts out of the existing cabinet and putting a new plastic facing over it with a new lock. So it would be dealing with the existing cabinet. That might not last as long as the other 2 options because of the condition of the existing cabinet, and the seal isn't that great anymore. But that's what that second option is. And the third option is just basically taking the canvas off and probably the cabinet out and putting a fixed aluminum sign over it that we would never be able to change, and it would just be basically what we're doing but nicer with that canvas over it. I for one think we should at least leave the cabinet in there, the cabinet idea, but I think option 1 would last us another 30 or 40 years because they're going to replace the cabinet and all the sealant and everything. So those are the 3 options. 1, replacing the cabinet and the marquee. 2, just replacing the guts and giving a new glass on the outside, and 3, a fixed aluminum sign that the message would never change, and we would have to figure out what that would be.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
that's good. That explains it better. Thank you, Deb.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I am not in favor of the one that you cannot change.
Yeah, I'm not either, because then you can't even put up the new you can't even put the pastor's name because you never know, and you can
Right.
never put a message if you wanted to and stuff like that.
Right.
Is there any way of getting any pictures of what these look like?
I think that would be, once we figure out what, I mean, I think I can get pictures of what it would look like, but I think, you know, I thought maybe we could narrow it down so that they wouldn't have to draft up too many pictures. But
Well, I
obviously
don't
the
know. I think,
But
well, I mean, so Deb, correct me if I'm wrong, but basically, proposal number 2 is to leave the existing cabinet in there. Is that right?
Yeah, but it doesn't, yeah, and then put the new marquee board with new lettering and a space on it. But the problem with that is the ceiling of the cabinet is not in the greatest condition.
Right. No, I'm just talking about, so visually, it's gonna look the same as it looks now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, both option number 1 and option number 2 don't fundamentally change how the sign
No.
looks now, other than to say it's got bigger letters.
And I'm gonna have him put, so yes, I would like to show a picture because I want him to put, right now, it says Christ United Methodist Church or something like that, but I want him to put that with the cross and flames in it and then the name. So I think the
Okay.
lettering would be nicer with the cross and flame symbol
Yeah.
on the.
So basically,
No.
okay. Oh, go ahead, John.
Now, that was a lighted sign before. Am I correct on that?
No, there is no lighting in it whatsoever. It was never lit.
It was never lit. Oh, okay. I thought that they had electricity going to it.
No,
At one-
the guy that came out determined that there's absolutely no way that it was ever illuminated.
Okay.
I mean, the only way you can illuminate it, if we wanted to, was to put a couple solar lights out and have it point up at the sign. But
Right.
there's,
That's what cavalry does to illuminated sign. We have a solar powered spotlight that points to the sign.
a great way to do it.
Yeah, right. It's cheap and it's, yeah.
Oh, I'd like to have plants on those outer 2 things at some point, and then the spotlight could hit them from those, you know, I don't know how far
Right.
out those are. I don't know where we would put those, but hopefully not. Like, we would have to think about where to place them, because we don't definitely want them right in front, because if we want to be having access to the marquee board. And the other thing was, we would need to figure out if we want, so right now we have 2-inch letters, and people were saying, well, that's too small. So I went up to 3-inch. That's what he got in here. But he said they do make 4-inch, but obviously the bigger letters you go, the less obviously you can fit on each line.
Right.
But there is an option, but we would have to pick that right up front, because the marquee board that goes inside would definitely have to be catering to what letters we want.
Right. I don't know. Anybody got any experience with 3-inch versus 4-inch letters and how far you can read them? I mean, what's there now, Deb? What's there now is probably like 1-inch letters or 2-inch letters, right?
2-inch, yes.
They're 2-inch?
Yeah, they're 2-inch.
Okay.
So I was thinking 3-inch would be better, but not, I mean, I don't know. I guess we have to figure that
Well,
out.
okay,
Yeah.
look, well, so let's think about this for a second this way. a 4-inch letter is probably 2 inches wide, 3 inches wide. Is that probably what it works out to be? When it says
Probably.
3-inch letters, it means 3 inches tall, right? Not 3 inches
Yeah.
square.
Yes.
Uh,
I
Right,
believe so.
okay. So a 3-inch letter would, I don't know, 2 inches wide? Maybe?
That's fine.
So 2 inches wide, so a 6-letter word is a foot. And it's a 5-foot wide cabinet. So you could get 5, I mean, it's probably, I mean, even at 3 inches, we probably have to be relatively frugal with the real estate on the sign, I would think, you know.
I think she's telling me something about 3-inch would be 30-ish, like letters per line, and the 4-inch would only be 25
Ooh,
letters.
Okay,
ooh.
All smacked together, the width of the sign. So I don't know how big we want to make it.
you know, I mean, I mean, it's just a guess here. I mean, without really knowing what we're gonna put exactly on the sign, other than the worship times, office contact information, maybe the website,
We should
pastor's
put your,
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, pastor's name. I mean, at that point, we're probably not, I don't know, but like, we probably don't have the people to be updating that board every week,
Right.
right?
well, I mean, so often you could put some little message or something.
Right, is it just at 30? Yeah, no, that'd be fine. It's just at 30 letters a line. 30 letters a line, and then did he say how many lines would be on the board for 3-inch letters?
I can get that kind of detail from him. He's very responsive. So
Okay.
I could tell him that, you know, once we figure out what we want to do, he'll be very
Okay.
helpful outlining that kind of stuff.
I would
Okay,
think
so-
that 3-inch letters are more than adequate, but I would also like to see the sign lighted.
Yeah.
See the sign what, lighted?
Lighted.
Do we have electricity to it?
Well, you could
No.
do solar. You could do
Oh,
a
okay,
solar
yes, yes,
floodlight
okay,
on it. You know, there's
yes,
lots of ways
okay.
to do that. We'd have to look to see if there's electricity to it, if we wanted to go.
Right. Right. Actually, Deb, do you know, would he have an option to put a solar interior light in the cabinet?
I didn't have him cost out any of that because I didn't want to get ridiculous with. I was
Yeah, I'm
going
just,
for
yeah,
fixing ad at the time.
right. No, I'm just wondering if that's it. I mean, going to Walmart and buying a solar powered spotlight is not very expensive, right? And you could also light up the landscaping around the sign too for pretty cheap. Because that's what people use the solar lights for, right? Is to light up their landscaping.
Yeah.
On
So you
the,
could make that look really nice with just. Yeah. And if we don't spend a ton of money on it, I mean, that's why I was wondering on the interior thing, because the exterior thing, we're gonna be probably prone to students taking it once in a while, right? Just because of where it is, but you know, if it's a $10 spotlight from Walmart, it's a $10 spotlight from Walmart, right?
on the,
So I think the question in front of us should be really a quick discussion on whether we want to reuse the existing cabinet or replace the old cabinet, use the old cabinet or replace the old cabinet, because that seems to be really the gating factor. And then Deb can go back to him and get, you know, more detail on the 3-inch versus 4-inch and that sort of thing, right?
And then I asked about, could they ever do some sort of solar powered lighting inside
Right.
of it? And if not, then we just do the solar powered spotlights. But yeah, he could
Right.
give me exact number of letters we could fit on and how many lines. I'm confident he can give me that. And then he could give me a good picture of what the Christ United Methodist title would look like with the cross and flame and then the marquee underneath it. I'm sure I could get a
Okay.
picture from him.
All right,
The-
so oh, go
I
ahead,
think
John.
one of the things that we ought to do is actually draw out what we want in the sign, and that will guide us in
Right.
terms of the size of the letters and so forth. I don't know who's artistically inclined.
Well,
Deb,
if them together, like what he was saying, the office contact, the website,
Right.
and whatever, then I can, when he gives me the exact number of letters for each size, 3-inch or 4-inch, and how many lines we would have in the marquee based on the cabinet size we're gonna that fits inside that brick structure, then I can see what fits best.
Right. And remember
Yeah.
to count spaces too,
right.
And remember what?
to count spaces.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So so Deb, okay, so let's have a quick discussion, existing cabinet or new cabinet? Because that's between option 1 and option 2. I don't think we want, unless somebody objects, I don't think anybody wants the fixed sign. Is that true?
Right.
Okay,
And Kalen was saying that, that's my contact at this company. He was saying that option 1, replacing the cabinet with, new caulking and sealing, and option 3, the fixed sign, which they would also seal, those 1 and 3 would be the ones that would last us the longest for the money we're spending. Option 2, we have to keep in mind, if we keep the existing cabinet, they won't be touching the ceiling of it or anything, and so we might run into,
Right.
deterioration
Right.
or whatever problems.
right.
So I think the money between 1,800 and 20, we have to decide if we're going to go ahead and fix the sign. Should we just do it up for it to last a
Right.
long time?
Yeah.
What,
Anybody got
What
any,
what was the price of number 2? I didn't think you had said that. The first one was 2,000, right?
the
Well, it was
first
fun-
one?
I have it in an email, but I don't have it with me because I'm at a class.
No,
and I
we
ran-
did, we distributed it. So the first one, so Marilyn, the quote for replacing, so option number 1 with replacing the cabinet.
Right, I
Um,
understand, but I just wanted the price. of
No,
it.
no, right, I'm gonna give it to you. It's $2,969.83. Okay, the
Mhm.
one that uses the existing cabinet is $1,845.61. Okay, both of those include tax, though. Deb, we can give you a tax exempt letter for him so that he doesn't have to charge tax.
Okay.
So Marilyn, that would bring
Right.
the first one down to approximately 2,700, 2,755. And what's the second one then?
I don't have that one.
Would be, 1739. So the difference, no, that was dumb.
Is
So yeah, so that it's 1,000, basically, no matter how you slice it, the
Dollar.
difference is $1,000. Anybody got any thoughts? New cabinet, existing cabinet? For $1,000.
I don't know how much is in the budget for this. Obviously, I don't want to skyrocket prices on anything, but I thought that this company was really reasonable and really competent and very responsive. And so my vote would be for number 1 if we can, because I think that's going to last us the longest and be the best option for us.
Mhm.
I like that
Anybody
he
got
did-
it?
Sorry, just to-
Sorry.
Okay, first of all, we don't have anything really in the budget for that. We're treating this as extra, above the budget, as a capital expense. So that doesn't help decide which one to go with. In many ways, I'm inclined to go with number one because it's easier, for everybody if you do a good job at the beginning.
Right. Yeah, I would be for number one, but
Somebody want to make a motion?
I'd like to find out what they look like.
Well, so I think Harold I think what we're trying to do right now is try to be able to give Deb some guidance for them so that they know which option we're interested in so they can do the drawing.
Well, I think the simple one would be just to replace what's there. The cabinet, put another cabinet in its spot.
Okay, that's option number one, then replacing the existing cabinet.
Yeah.
So it's basically gonna look exactly the same, but the name of our church will have our cross with the flames and will look nicer.
Okay.
So it's
So
gonna look.
I haven't heard any. Sorry?
It's gonna look basically.
One other question is on the other cabinets coming in. It is not going to need electric. Is that what you're telling me?
It doesn't have electric now, and it won't have electric. No,
in the
it's not
future.
included.
All right, well, then I'm gonna have, they're gonna have to find a way of shutting down that electric feed that feeds the cabinet now.
When they have the
Dude.
solar.
One.
Because right now that cabinet is tied electrically to the overhead lights for the flaming cross.
Wait, is the cabinet, hi, Marcy. I don't so wait, I'm confused here. Somebody said that the cabinet's doesn't have electricity, and somebody says the cabinet does have
The cabinet
electricity.
has electricity.
The sign person that was out says there's no electricity connected to that. It was never lit.
Right. So,
I'd like
So-
to go out and take a look at it a little bit closer and see what's going on.
okay, so this is what I think, okay, so I will make a motion. I will make a motion that we have Deb contact the sign company saying that we're interested in option number one to replace the existing cabinet with the 3-inch letters. And that we would like to see a visual based on the other changes that Deb is asking for, that we would like to see a sketch of what it will look like. That's one. Number two in the motion would be that Keith and Harold go out and figure out whether the sign is electric or not, whether there's electricity there. Because if the sign does have electricity, then I think, Deb, that we might want to have them modify the proposal to put a light in it.
Okay.
So Keith, can you go, I don't even know, like, can you and Harold work on finding out whether there's electricity to it?
I think that would be
Yeah.
easy.
Okay,
There's
so
two
like,
light bulbs there's 2 light bulbs in it on the side and 2 starter units on each one of those sides. Right
Oh.
now, they aren't working because the starters need to be replaced and possibly the light bulbs need to be replaced, but it is run by electricity.
okay,
So
so,
I have a timer upstairs in the attic.
okay, so Deb, I'm gonna say that Harold sounds pretty confident that there's electricity to the cabinet. So, okay, so let's do this. Why don't we, Deb, why don't you have them sketch out option number one? Because it sounds like everybody is, nobody has asked for option number two. So why don't we go with option number one, say that we're interested in that one, but we'd like to modify the proposal to see, to use the electricity that's going to the cabinet. And if so, if they really believe that there's no electricity there, then can you coordinate them coming out with meeting with Harold so that Harold can walk them through what we've got?
So can we do it this way? Can Harold and Keith figure out if there's electricity and let me know, and then I can arrange for this meeting? Otherwise, I'll ask for a
Yeah.
drawing.
Yeah, that's fine. Is that okay, Keith and
Yeah.
Harold?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, okay, so then why don't you do that? Because if there's electrical there, then we might as well ask for a cabinet with lighting in it, right? As opposed to messing with the solar stuff.
Yes,
Okay,
but he wasn't
right.
able to. I guess he wasn't able to see because obviously we were limited to. We didn't want to take the canvas all the way down, but with what he was looking at, he didn't seem to think there was any electricity to it.
Okay.
So they didn't quote anything with it. And I, obviously
Right.
we didn't want to take the sign all the way down and then not have any sign up.
Right, okay. So Keith and Harold owe you an answer as to whether there's electrical or not, okay? And then you can have them modify the proposal based on whether there's electricity or not, and then ask for a sketch. Okay?
And I,
And then also ask them or tell them that we can provide them a tax exempt letter for the taxes. Anything else we want to change in this proposal?
I'm sure that he wouldn't mind coming out to see the to see what exactly is the electric in there so that he could take a picture or whatever and draw up a new proposal. But then we'd be looking at a different proposal with lighting, and I don't know if that would obviously change the price too.
It'll change the price, but I'm assuming that adding lighting to the cabinet isn't going to be like $1,000, right? I mean, it's going to be, I hope, a couple light bulbs and a starter, right? I don't know. Let's find. I mean, we have, so obviously we already have the price without the lights, right? Well, let's just ask them how much would you add to the proposal to add lights if there's electricity, right?
Okay.
And then Keith and Harold, you can just go out and verify that the electrical is still there and it works.
Yep.
Okay, and then just work with Deb and let Deb know directly, that the electrical is there and it works.
Do you guys
Okay.
want my?
Sorry, Deb?
Do you guys need my cell number? It's in the church directory, the 708-710-2325. That's my cell. Business and personal.
Repeat that again, Deb.
708-710-2325.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. And then we
Okay,
will see if we can pick that up again in the August finance trustee meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
Thank you,
Even
Deb, by the way,
though-
for looking all that up.
Yeah, I mean, he said that the biggest delay that we are going to experience is going to be getting a permit from the city to do the sign. So I'm inclined to think that if it's just a few people that need to look at this drawing and get this moving so that he could apply for the permit, the sooner we apply for the permit, the sooner the work can be done. So I don't know if you want me to just continue to forward you any sketches I get and stuff and keep the project moving that way.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
If we can keep this moving by email, then by all means, go ahead and do that.
Is he applying for a permit for a new sign? Or is he just asking for permission to repair the existing sign?
I don't know. He deals with different cities and about signs, and I don't know how the permits deal with Elmhurst City and what it deals with. I mean, yeah, we're just repairing an existing sign, so it doesn't seem to me that it would be that big of a deal, to get it. But I guess that's what he's saying, is that the biggest delay is getting a permit to do the work. So,
It could be.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got to apply for a permit for the work just because that's what he's telling me. They always have to apply for a permit. So
Everybody wants some money.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the delay that they experience before they can put it on the schedule. The permit has to come from whatever city they're working in.
Okay.
So that's the biggest delay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
thank you
no,
for
Deb,
following
to the,
through.
yep, absolutely. Thank you. And then, yeah, to the degree that we can keep this moving over email, keep it moving over email.
Sounds good. Okay.
Right.
Next is investment committee.
Nothing to report.
Okay, any other?
So
do
John,
this.
I just wanted
Yes.
to ask you, your email that I have still says like EDU for education. I'm guessing
Correct.
that you don't anymore, or you do?
No, I still have that. It's permanent.
Okay. Because I sent something or other to, I sent the proposals originally to you, but I sent it to the one that says you and Carol, I think. So
Oh,
I-
yeah, because she has the other one and that's hers, even though it's under my name.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't get into her email.
all right. I just wanted to make sure you still had the .edu.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Anything else?
Do we want to talk quickly about what kind of monthly guidance to give Deb in terms of landscaping projects?
Well, hopefully I won't have any more, things
Oh.
that
Well, but
that are other than budget, because these projects that I'm looking at, trying to get, landscaping around the sign, but obviously we want to get the sign done first, and maybe the
Right.
landscaping's gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm supposed to get a proposal from the landscaper without the trees like we wanted to, but I'm supposed to get that within the next week, and if he gets us a proposal, he does. If he doesn't, then it'll have to wait. But I mean, getting the sign done first is very cool that we're able.
yeah, I'm
But yeah, I
thinking,
mean, do I have? I don't plan on going out and I just don't feel right without
Oh.
some sort of a spending the church's money, because I don't know where, obviously we have a budget and we need to stick to it, and I would like to confer with somebody about anything like that.
yeah, I'm of a nature of $150, $200. If it's over that, you really need to see us.
Okay. That works for me too. So Deb, if like the soil testing, like if you have something on a month to month, like don't go over the $200 number per month. Okay, then you would need some approval. But if it's something like the soil thing that's less than 200 for the month, you have our approval to go ahead and just go ahead and do that.
And I just want to say really quick that I know I haven't been working with Jorge, this landscaper, that much, but I don't, I think depending on how the rest of the season goes, I'm not sure, if he can't come up with a proposal for the front like we want, and he's not listening to the customer, I I'm giving him a chance for the rest of the season, but just be forewarned that I'm not, he needs to convince me that he's the right person to continue.
Okay,
Okay,
we can discuss it, trustees can discuss it, with you on that.
Yeah, end of the season, depending on what happens with the next few things that go on. I just think that, our church's money, we don't have an unlimited budget. We want value, and we deserve to have things done right, and we deserve to have things guaranteed, and people need to work with, they need to listen to us, and do what we're asking. It's not unreasonable.
sure, I agree.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody? Okay. Pastor Jim, would you mind closing in prayer?
Oh, wait.
Okay.
I have some new stuff to discuss.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Sorry.
I have a group who's trying to rent our church and do a pancake breakfast. I do not have any information on the group yet, but I did give him information on the price of renting the kitchen, which I have down here is $150, and also the use of the sanctuary for $250. Are those prices within reason still?
I don't know. What was it, 4 or 5 years ago when we looked at that?
Yeah, they want to use the cooking and everything else in the kitchen, cooking food and serving the pancakes.
Yeah.
They have not given me an idea about how many. They haven't given me any information on the group, which I'm going to need to get that information from them, and also to sign the agreement on the lease of the church, and to make sure they have insurance. So
Yeah.
I didn't know if the amounts that I quoted are correct, or we need to increase them.
What were the amounts again, Harold?
$150 for the rental of the kitchen. And according to what I have here, it says for the use of serving food and coffee, only $75. For use of preparing and serving food, $150.
Okay,
And the rental of the church is listed as $250, but there is a note on here, and this is an old note because the scouts used to serve the food in the sanctuary, and here it says no food or drink is allowed in this food or sanctuary. And we've done that multiple times with the other people that have rented the church, and they didn't even talk. The food was served. So I'm just trying to get the price down so that I can tell him
Right.
how much it is.
right.
How does it fit with our mission? The Boy Scouts fits with our mission. Grace Cafe fits with our mission.
And also, I'm concerned about the fact that we have all new flooring and that it needs to be taken care of in a certain way.
Harold, do you know what group is this?
I don't know the group. He gave me a name and I didn't write it down. I'm going to call him tomorrow and see if he's
Okay.
still interested and find out. And if he's still interested, I'll have the information for you next week for Ed Console.
Okay, all right. We can talk about it then, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah, because he wants to rent it at the end of the month. That's all. Just for the
end
one
of
day.
which, end of which month?
Yeah, this
July?
is the
End of
the
this month.
Oh,
That's getting really close.
yeah.
I would,
I know. Well, that's the
It's a
problem
week
though.
from-
I tried tried getting this guy to give me anything over my email and I haven't gotten zip.
Oh, well then, I mean, whatever, you
Yeah,
can reach
that's-
out to him, but he probably found another place. That would be my guess. Because
Yeah.
otherwise he's,
Well, I have one other thing that I received in the mail. The letter was dated the 9th of July from the Blackbird. I'm sorry, Blackboard, BAUD Giving Fund. And they are located in Charleston, South Carolina. And the first line and sentence is, the Blackboard Giving Fund is pleased to present Christ United Methodist Church of Elmhurst with the enclosed grant of $48 made on behalf of Marathon Petroleum Company and its donors. I did not think that we should cash the check because I thought maybe it was a scam as far as you cash the check. Now they're gonna turn around and they're gonna be looking for money. That's what I'm thinking, but
Mhm.
so.
they just said, so just out of the goodness of their heart, they sent us $48.
Sounds a little
Yeah.
hokey.
It sounds sketchy to
Yeah.
me.
I'm going to give this letter to John.
Okay.
And let him look at it and see if he thinks we should just do it or dump it. I don't care. For $48, I don't want to
Yeah,
get
right.
caught into something.
Well,
Yeah,
and just as
agreed.
a point of note, $48 isn't gonna make or break us.
Yeah. I'm gonna be in the area. John, I'm gonna be in the area tomorrow. You gonna be home in the morning?
I've got a dental appointment at 8. But I should be back 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Okay, all right. I'll probably be dropping by your house. I'll give you the letter.
Okay,
All right.
okay, and I can also look it up on the internet, see if it's a
Pull it
legit
up.
place.
Yeah, because the last thing you want to do is cash a $48 check and then there's the banking link and all that.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, John, I guess I would say that. I mean, actually, to tell you the truth, I'm almost leaning
Oh.
toward the shred it out of, just shred it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
would be okay doing that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Fine.
usually any,
I'll just go ahead and shred it.
yeah, I think,
Yeah.
I don't, that's too sketchy and that's too weird for me.
Yeah.
Without any
Okay.
contact and without any context, and why would Marathon Oil be giving us $48? That's too weird.
Yeah.
Isn't that terrible? We have to be we have to be skeptical of everything, but we do.
Yeah, no, it is. Yep, no, it is. It's a different, it's the age we're living in.
All right. I won't even bother dropping it off, John. I'll just go
Okay.
ahead and shred it.
okay, sounds good. All right. We're done?
I think we're done.
Yep.
Okay. And Pastor Jim, I forgot, had I asked you to close or?
Oh, I can close. All right, if you please join me in prayer. Loving God, we thank you for this time and we thank you for the wisdom and the expertise and the thoughts of all the people on this call as they take care of the property and the money and the finances of our church. As we leave tonight, we pray that you would give us good rest and that you would awaken us to another day of possibilities for us to respond to your love and your grace and to be your hands and your feet in our communities and in our families, that others might come to know you and others might experience your love and your grace through us. So give us rest tonight. And we pray all of this in the name of your son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Harold, can you give me a
All right,
call
Pastor
tomorrow
Jim, have a
so we
have a
can
great
meet up
little break.
sometime?
Sorry, you talking to Harold?
Yes.
Harold,
What do you
Keith wants
want?
you to give him a call.
Can you give me a call tomorrow and we try and take care of, look at that sign tomorrow sometime?
Yeah, it'll be gonna have to be after 1 o'clock.
Okay, anytime.
I'll call you first.
Yep.
And
Thank
Pastor,
Yes,
Pastor, Mrs. Deb, I just wanted to let you know that I sent you an email, about Pastor Jones.
I did see it. Yep. I will try to get to that email, Deb, but I'm going on vacation tomorrow morning early. But if I don't get to it before I go on vacation, I'll get to you next week.
No, yeah, that's fine. We can talk about it next week anyways, but I just
Okay.
wanted to get guidance, and she
Yep.
thought that maybe you would know what she was talking about, so.
Yep, I do.
So keep
Safe
her in her prayers.
travels.
Okay, will do. Okay, all right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
That was
Bye.
a safe trip.
Thank you.